Hey, hi everyone. So, as part of the today's session, let us see how exactly we can start the implementation of this particular page object model as per the documentation, whatever they have given. So, they are suggesting to create a TS file, and inside the TS file, you just need to have a class, and this class should be exported so that wherever it is needed, we can import this class and you can use it. And it does has a read-only information, and there is a constructor that it is initiating all those things and the required methods are there. So wherever you want, you will be creating an object to this class and you can access this information. Okay, perfectly all right. So let us see this example. So what I am doing right now is whatever the content that we have right now, I just wanna create it into a different project. So we have a Playwright basics, right? So I'm just opening a new one. I'm just opening a new folder, okay, which is a Playwright Advanced I'm opening. So if you remember, the Playwright Advanced is the folder that we have created at our beginning stages itself, okay. Basics and Advanced are the two different Playwright projects that we have configured, okay. Now, excuse me, what additionally I have done is whatever the end-to-end test that I have created earlier, I just placed the test as part of this test folder. This is what my end-to-end test that I have copied for my reference. And as said, in order to work on this particular page object model, we just needed two critical packages. One is a page object. So here I'm defining the page objects. And the second one is a test cases basically. Okay, the next one here is, okay, so where is the page objects? Okay, let me create the page objects once. Okay, so here page objects, and the next folder that I'm creating here is for my test cases. So here test cases, so where I'm gonna write down my spec files. In the page objects, we are gonna write down the page specific information like this. Whatever the page specific information is there, I just wanna write it down. So here, as it is a page specific information, first of all we need to create a class. Okay, so we need to create a TS file, and inside the TS file we will be creating a class inside that. If you look at this Playwright official documentation, they are creating a TS file. Inside the TS file they are creating a class, and inside the class they are creating a constructor. Followed by the constructor they are maintaining a method. So let us do so. So here what I am doing is login page.ts. That's it. I haven't done anything. Now here, what I am doing right now here is class login page. Okay, I'm defining it as a login page and hit this enter. That's it. I just created this login page. So guys, what are we gonna do as part of this login page? If you look at this documentation that we have created, what we have understood is as part of the login page, you are gonna define the username field, password field, and a login button. Let me open the test that it was captured, the locators. So you need to define these locators, right? Define these locators. From where you are getting these locators? All these locators you are getting it from a page fixer. So the ultimate point that you need to consider here is in order to work on this particular test, the key thing that we need to import it here is not the test that you need to import. You need to import the page fixer to this particular file. Okay, we just need to import the page fixer. The reason is using this particular page fixer itself, we are gonna perform the complete operations. Perfectly all right. And then as and when I have created, if you look at this particular official documentation of this one, for the class they are adding an export. Okay, so that as this class is, we have an export, so that moving further wherever it is needed, we can just import it, right? So we can access this particular class outside this one. So I just added this export for this. Now if you look at it, it does has a read only a page, and it is of a type page, and a get started, it's of a locator. The locator means that definitely it's gonna be the attribute that we wanna specify. But the key thing here is what exactly this read only is. See, the significance of this particular read only means that can only be assigned a value only once, either at the time of a declaration. So here in this particular line you can define that particular value, or within a constructor you can define a value for that. So if you look at this particular example, guys, they have a defined it here, just the variable name, and they are assigning the locator here. Either they can directly define it here also, either the steps they can do that. That's what the significance of this particular read only is. And another thing that we need to consider is the value whatever you have assigned for this read only, it can't be changed basically. Okay, it can't be changed. You can assign the value whether within this particular class here, or you can define it within this particular constructor also. Okay, you can define it within that particular constructor. That's fine. So here, as part of this particular sample program in the official documentation, they are using this particular page fixer. They are just creating a field for that particular page fixer, which is of a type page, and inside the constructor they are referring to this particular page itself, a variable, and which is of the same type of page, and they are updating this information. So what it's gonna does, whenever you create an object to this particular class, it's mandatory for us to pass on the constructor parameters. At that time you will be passing this particular page fixer that you are using in that particular class, so that the relation between the test and this fixer will be established. For now, what I am doing is I'm just going with the read only of this particular page. Okay, I'm just going with this read only of that particular page, and I'm just defining only my constructor, guys. I'm not dealing anything. So here, if you observe, though they have given a multiple lines, I am not dealing anything. So here, export a login page, and this read only, and this is a constructor which is accepting of the page fixer, and whatever the value that you are getting from this constructor, we are passing to this particular page. So what it will happen moving further in this particular class, whenever you are using a page, means that it is referring to the page that you are passing at the time of creating an object. Perfectly all right. Now, if you look at that documentation, they are asking us to perform the further operations. So here, if you look at our sample code, in order to open the application, page.goto is the command that we have used. Just copy this line and put it here. What I am doing right now here is let me create a function. Okay, async, and I'm defining open source demo application. As part of this, my copilot is prompting me this dot page, but as per my syntax I know that await page dot go to. But the issue here is whenever you are using a page, this should be referring to this particular class. So that's the reason. Definitely within this class, whenever you are trying to write down the page, you need to use this, so that whatever the instance that you are passing it, right, the page fixer that you are passing it whenever you are creating an object, that will be passed here, and that can be handled. I'm not writing down any locators. I'm not writing down any locators. I just used this particular operation itself. Perfect. And then here, async. Okay, async, close the application. Okay, close the application. As part of this close the application, what I'm gonna do, page dot close. So here, as of now, my login page contains opening of this particular source demo and terminating that particular browser instance. That's it, guys. These are the two key things that I have right now. Now, what I am doing here is, as part of my test cases, let me create a new spec file. So here I'm creating a spec file, open source. Okay, dot spec dot ts. I just created it. As part of the test spec file, definitely we just need to import it, and we just need to import a test, and we need to create a test. So here I just imported it, and I just created a test here. Okay, perfectly all right. Now here, okay, in this, what I am doing is open the source demo and close it. Okay, open the source demo and close it. That's it. That's what I have mentioned. So here, the key thing that you need to consider is your opening of a browser and a closing of that particular browser is there in a login page.ts TS. If at all you want to use it here, first and a foremost thing is you need to import. So here import, as and when I type it, my copilot is prompting me that, buddy, you can import the login page from this. This is the syntax. So I just pressed a tab. Automatically, my line got a prompted by my copilot. Okay, perfectly all right. And then here, now let us create an instance for that particular login page. So here, login page instance is equal to new login page, and whatever the fixer, the page fixer that you are passing here, just pass it to this particular constructor. So this will be going to this particular class, and in this particular class you have two methods. One is an open app and the close the browser. So here what are we gonna do here is login page instance dot open app and login page instance dot close app. That's it. That's the simple thing that we have created right now. So this is the simple test that we have created, guys. Okay, that's the simple test that we have created. Perfectly all right. So the only thing that we have done right now is, so we created a TS file, and then this TS file, okay, whatever the TS file is there, we just created this TS file, and inside the TS file we created a class, and whatever the content from this particular class is there, we are importing it. We are importing it, and we are just trying to execute this content. And here the play button is not populating. The reason here is, my execution is, my configuration file is pointing to the test directory. So as part of here, I just need to update my configuration directory to the test cases. I just saved it. Okay, I just saved it. And whenever I came back, see, I was able to see this particular play button right now. Earlier, I was not able to see this particular play button. The reason is the Playwright configuration is pointing to the test directory, but I just want to update it to the test cases. As and when I updated my test directory, automatically I was getting an option to execute it. Now let me try to execute it and see whether it is launching the browser, opening the application and terminating it. Yes, it opened and it terminated the application. It's just performing the actions in a fraction of seconds. Perfectly all right. My script got executed successfully. So we have created a simple flow. But the key thing here is, as part of the login page, you need to define the username field, password field, and a login button. Like the same, the login page, you need to create all these pages that we will continue as part of the next session. Okay. Thank you very much. See you again in the next lecture. Bye bye.